In a shocking escalation that has captured the nation's attention, the federal government has officially taken the unprecedented step of halting millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded payments to the state of Minnesota. This move comes as investigators peel back the layers of what is now being described as a national poster child for industrial-scale corruption. For years, Minnesota state officials insisted their systems were secure, claiming they had conducted internal investigations and found no evidence of widespread fraud. Yet, as federal law enforcement moves in, those claims are being exposed as a massive failure of oversight, sparking a tidal wave of outrage among taxpayers who are tired of seeing their hard-earned money siphoned off into criminal pockets. The scale of the betrayal is staggering. While state administrators were telling the public that everything was under control, federal agents were uncovering a reality that looks more like a criminal ATM. We are talking about billions of dollars intended for the most vulnerable, hungry children, patients with autism, and those facing homelessness, being used to fund a lifestyle of pure, unmitigated luxury. Investigators have tracked these stolen funds to high-end real estate in Turkey and Kenya, luxury car collections, and even private villas in the Maldives. The federal government's decision to cut off funding is a clear signal that the days of business as usual in Minnesota are over, as the Department of Health and Human Services and the FBI surge resources into the state to dismantle these networks. One of the most viral and infuriating examples of this neglect involves daycare centers receiving millions of dollars while remaining completely empty. A recent investigation highlighted a facility that collected $4 million in public money despite having no children on site and a misspelled sign on the door. When confronted with these Zoolander-level obvious frauds, critics like Elon Musk have demanded to know how these licenses were ever granted and why they weren't revoked years ago. This isn't just a failure of a few bureaucrats. It is a systemic rot that has led to calls for the prosecution of top state leadership, including Governor Tim Walz, for what many see as a deliberate blind eye toward the exploitation of public trust. The fallout of this scandal hits every single American directly in the wallet. This isn't just government money. It's your money. In the insurance industry, this level of massive unchecked fraud creates a fraud tax that every honest policyholder pays. When billions are stolen from Medicaid-funded programs, the financial ecosystem is destabilized, forcing insurance companies to hike premiums to compensate for the losses and the skyrocketing costs of new security measures. Every time a fraudulent provider bills for a service that was never provided, it drives up the cost of care for everyone else. Whether you live in Minnesota or not, you are footing the bill for this incompetence through higher premiums and a devalued dollar. As federal raids continue in cities like Minneapolis and Bloomington, the community is bracing for the full weight of the law. Out of nearly 100 defendants indicted so far, the vast majority are from a specific community that investigators say exploited the state's perceived lack of oversight. While some politicians have tried to label the criticism as sensationalized, the reality of empty daycares and luxury villas tells a different story. The eyes of the nation are now firmly on Minnesota, and the demand for accountability has never been louder. Taxpayers are no longer willing to accept excuses from officials who claim they found nothing while billions were being walked out the front door.